to stay at the refugee camp? I mean, to teach there.
My contract is for another 2 years.
Any plan after that?
That remains to be seen.
But it will be in the line of social work.
Most likely, yeah. My background is social work, public health, and human rights.
I'm not sure about how good the pay is, but emotionally, what did you get out of doing this?
Well, as I explained to my friends and family who often ask that question, my life is exceedingly rich in experiences and in friendships and community. And for me, that's what really matters.
Do you think governments around the world are doing enough to help the poor, to help minority groups, to help solve development issues?
Absolutely not. If they were, then there would be no poverty, right? I mean, I'm just looking at my own country, at the United States, and the amount of money that we spend every year on our military budget, the amount of money we spend on our army versus the amount of money that we spend on healthcare and education. It's abysmal. It's embarrassing. When we look at the amount of money that's been spent on the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan, trillions of dollars, $1 trillion. And if that money could have been spent on investing in healthcare and education, not only for the people in the United States, but for countries that have a real need for resources, I think we would be investing our money in a much more fruitful way that would actually have a big positive impact in the United States, but also in international relations and how the average person lives.
Or maybe it's because it's beyond the capacities that governments can do?
I think people who are elected to be leaders of nations need to think big and dream, and anything is possible if you can put it into words and you can sit around a table with people who are decision makers. You can create a program and you can create plans and you can hire people to implement them. If we've sent people into outer space and they come back to tell us about it, we can end poverty. We can eliminate polio, for example, like Rotary is trying to do. Anything is possible. We just need to think concretely about how to achieve it.
Yeah. If governments give more emphasis on this part, how would that actually help with the work of the government itself?
In my opinion, if you invest enough in healthcare and education, then you are going to prevent many problems from happening. You can invest in healthcare and preventive healthcare so that you have a healthier population, and then the costs of treatment are diminished. If you invest in educational opportunities for people, there are more job opportunities. It generates economic growth. If you close schools, as is happening in many places in the US, then you're limiting educational opportunities and you're producing a next generation which is not as well educated, has limited opportunities, and therefore will not have the quality of life that other people in the country have, which can lead to higher crime outcomes, for example.
I think what you're doing is great, and it must be a very tiring job, sacrificing yourself somehow. Who's your role model? Who you look up to for inspiration? My job, I don't feel like I'm sacrificing. I feel really fulfilled, and I love it, and it's invigorating and inspiring. So I really, it doesn't make me tired. It gives me a lot of energy. And my role models are, there are many of them. I would say that some of the people who I've met who work in the refugee camp are very inspiring. They're local leaders. I've met many women, ethnic women from Burma, who work with community-based organizations, who are absolutely brilliant and incredibly inspiring, who have personal stories of tragedy, of why they've had to migrate to Thailand. And then I have my mentors back in the United States and throughout Latin America. What are some of the inspiring stories that they share with you at the camp? In the camp, just about everyone I meet has a story of traveling from Burma to Thailand, the reasons that they left due to forced labor or conflict. Many of them have faced persecution
They've had to leave family members behind and then wait several years to be reunited. They're tales of tragedy, but they're also inspiring because the people are continuing to organize and to work for change and to seek a better future for themselves, but especially for their children.
Social work anywhere in the world is a challenging job, but it can be very rewarding as well, as Amanda said. As Myanmar opens up, hopefully the living conditions as well as the choices in life for ethnic minority groups will improve as well. See you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ